What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Timepieces with Tony. I'm Tony. That's Paco. Today's Friday, and we are doing the Q&A. For those of you who don't know what the Q&A is, or you're not paying attention, or whatever it may be, every Friday we do a Q&A. You send your questions in the comments below, and I answer your questions. We've been doing this for a few years. It's a lot of fun. So if you'd like to participate, I appreciate it. And sometimes we get some great questions. Today I am wearing my Cartier Pasha blue dial. Man, this watch is sick. I love this. And as you can tell, I'm dressed a little nicer. It's my girlfriend's teaching me how to dress, right? So that being said, love doing the Q&A and just want to, basically say, hey, everyone, I love doing this channel. I've been doing it. I started in 2016, not with this particular channel. I had a previous channel. I love doing it. And when you guys subscribe, like, and interact, and that's what helps me stay motivated to keep doing this. And, I want to see my channel grow, and you guys are a huge part of this. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you. So if you could please like, subscribe, and do all those things. And I hate begging, but, helps me keep going. You know what I'm saying? So let's get going with the Q&A. Right now, the first question we have is from Demeen Photography Wed. I'm sure it's longer than that. Sorry, dude. It just prints out this way. So, hey, Tony, traveling to San Diego and to Los Angeles to visit SeaWorld and Universal Studios soon. Is it safe to wear a Submariner or a Batgirl there? Thanks a lot. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Anything can happen no matter where you're at, anywhere. I mean, we've seen robberies in Beverly Hills, and of course, with everything going on in other parts of the world, in some places it's safe, some places it's not. My recommendation is, just don't look like a tourist and don't be flexing it. Don't be flashing it around. You're going to get more attention with the Batgirl because it is more flashy than the Submariner. Just be aware of your surroundings. Obviously, when you're at a theme park, there's still anything could happen, but for the most part, you should be fine. Los Angeles itself, people don't generally care so much about watches, but at the same time, it's better to be safe than sorry. So just lay low. Again, don't look like a tourist and don't be flexing and flashing your watch around. You should be fine. If you're going out to dinner, just depending on where you're going, again, just be aware of your surroundings, but you should be, like I say, you should be fine, man. And I hope you have a great trip. Universal Studios is just down the street from me. So thanks for your question, man. Next one comes from 305_RS3. Hey, Tony, what's the next luxury piece on your sights? I got a Pepsi from my AD and waiting for the Panda. Right on, man. Congrats on your Pepsi, and hope you get your Panda soon. As far as with me, it just changes. I don't really just have my sights on one thing. I'd love to get another Vacheron Constantin for sure, or a Patek, or Patek. But my next watch might actually be a Nomos. I'm just waiting to hear back from Juan at Bindi Jewelers to see if he has the one I'm looking for. But other than that, I've got pretty much all the Rolex. I'm good with Rolex, so it would have to be something else. And there's plenty of watches out there. There's never going to be a shortage for me of things I want. But hopefully another VC or maybe even a Patek. So thanks for your question, man, and good luck with your Panda. This one comes from Sean Miller. Sean, what's up, Sean? If you were forced to give up all your watches and wear only one watch out of the current Swatch catalog, which Swatch would you choose? I've got a pretty good collection of Swatch watches. I would probably, I would keep the Snoopy that my little sister gave me. That's the one I would keep. Let me grab it real quick. I'll show. Oh no, you know what? Actually, it's under a bunch of boxes. Never mind. But the Swatch Snoopy, that's what I would. That's the one I would keep. So appreciate it, man. This one comes from Michael DeMarco, $8.99. What's up, Michael? I wore your watch yesterday. DeMarco watches for you guys. If great everyday beater watch. They look cool. Tony, have you had a chance to check out the Tag Heuer Porsche collaboration where the chronoseconds where the chronosecond hand moves quickly from 0 to 9.1 seconds and then slows down to get back to 60 seconds at the end. If not, it's freaking cool. Yeah, I've seen the watch, not in person. I've not looked at it in person, but I have seen videos on it. And yeah, I think it's a cool novelty. It's not something I would buy. Again, I'm not a huge Tag Heuer fan, but it's a nice piece, you know. I was going to do a video on that watch, but I'm not sure if I will. But yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool, man. So thanks for your question, Michael. This next one comes from L Love Watches 82. Hey, Tony, hope you're doing good. I'm good. How are you? Good? All right. Is Weiss a good American watch brand to buy? Cheers. Wow, no one's ever asked me anything about Weiss Watch Company. And it's kind of crazy because Cameron Weiss, he's the founder of Weiss Watch Company, and he's from California. And he did his studying in Europe. He's a certified WOSTEP, you know, recipient. He sort of basically started everything. He worked at AP and Vacheron Constantin, came back to LA and started Weiss Watch Company in 2013. And, you know, he makes some great watches. He's a legit watchmaker for sure. And he makes primarily field watches. And they're nice, but he doesn't really expand on top of that. Plus, a lot of his watches are like 42 millimeter, a little bit too big. But he's a great watch company. Like I say, he was in Los Angeles, and they moved to Nashville several years ago. So now he's based in Nashville. But if you look at his older watches, they do have Los Angeles on the dial. I almost bought one many years ago, and for some reason I didn't. And I don't know if it was because it was a 42 millimeter at the time. He was using actually at a base manual wind movements at the time. So I'm not too sure what he's doing now, but he's pretty much all in-house. So yeah, he's definitely legit, man, and he's a good watchmaker. So yeah, don't look past that if you get a chance to check him out for sure. Thanks for your question, man. Next one comes from 458V8. Hi, Tony. We look forward to your videos. Thank you. I look forward to you looking forward to my videos. What do you think of the new 1965 moon swatch? Hi to Paco and Uku. Yes, hi Paco. He's right there. Yeah, I think it's nice. White dial. And it's, you know, it's a moon swatch. You know, now I know a lot of people, YouTubers, that are just like, oh my God, it's burned out on these swatch watches. They've been beating a dead horse kind of thing. And I don't think so. You know, there was a ton of hype when those watches came out, as a lot of you know, and you couldn't get them. You still can't buy them online. You still have to get them from the Swatch store. But, you know, they're not beating a dead horse. I think they're just doing what they're doing, and I think it's cool. You know, they're introducing watches to the younger generation, people who were just all hung up on smart watches. You know, now they're getting into these watches, you know, and like the moon swatch is a great gateway to the real thing. You know, I've got two, not the 1965, but at the same time, they're fun, they're cool. And again, you know, some people think, well, no, this is going to ruin it for people that have the real, you know, moon watch. I'm like, no, I don't think so at all. You know, I think those are people that whatever. It's just, it's a great watch to get into the watch game, so to speak, you know? So yeah, I like it. I think it's cool. Appreciate your question, man. Next one comes from PQ19476. Tony, what's up, man? It's Phil. Hey, Phil. How you doing? That Tiffany OP just goes sick with that shirt. Keep rocking the shit out of it. Thank you. I will. I love that watch. Question. Besides the green and Tiffany you have, what would be the color you'd like to see in the OP this year? You know, I think there's so many different ways you can go with that. And I think, like in the OP, for instance, there's the chocolate dial day date, which I think is awesome. They also make the chocolate dial and the date just two-tone, which I'm not a huge two-tone fan, but I love the chocolate dial. And I'd love to see, I mean, again, I'd have to look at it in what that chocolate would look like with a stainless steel watch. But I think if they did a chocolate dial and then on top of it, maybe put baguette diamonds on it, that'd be just like the sort of the prestige OP, you know. I think that would look pretty cool. Thanks for your question, man. I appreciate it. Next one comes from Slava K T8V. Hi, Tony. When you were getting your Zenith Pilot, did you consider the chronograph version and any reason you went with a three-hander? Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I have the Zenith chronograph. Now, keep in mind, when I bought the Pilot, I didn't have the chronograph at the time, but I knew I was going to eventually be getting the open heart chronograph. So I didn't really feel the need. I wanted to have, need to get two. I love the simplicity of a three hand. And on top of it, the Pilot chronograph is 42.5 millimeters, which is just a little too big for me. You take the Zenith Pilot, at 40 millimeters, this is just the perfect size. It's clean, it's legible, and I love it just the way it is. And I'll keep the chronograph for the open that I like, So that's pretty much why. But if you like the chronograph, by all means, man, it's still a great watch. Zenith make the El Primero movement. It's undisputable. Thanks for your question, man. Appreciate it. Next one comes from Hap Keto Roy. Thanks for answering my question this week. I think for me, it'd be my GMT Sprite. Do you think Rolex goes with the 41 millimeter case in 2025 for the GMT models? If so, do you think it would be a better option than the 40 millimeter case? Thanks for the videos. Always look forward to Fridays. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So what you're basically asking me is, would if in 2025, coming up now in just a couple of weeks, or even about a week and a half, Watches and Wonders is going to come out, and Rolex are going to unveil their new watches. Also, it's the 160th, no, not 160th, 75th. Oh my gosh, it's an anniversary for the GMT Master 2, right? So I think they're going to do something. As far as it going to a 41 millimeter case, I don't know. I think the 40 millimeter. Okay, so we have the Rolex Submariner, right? That changed to the 41 millimeter when it was, and I prefer the 40 millimeter, the 14060 that I have. And then it changed to the 12406 or 114060 in the 41 millimeter, right? And then from there it went to the 124060, 41 millimeter. And I do like it in 41 as far as the Submariner goes. I prefer it in the 40 millimeter. When you take the GMT Master as a 40 millimeter, it's already wearing a little bit larger than a 40 millimeter because it has a maxi case. So it appears larger. So it already wears more like a 41, close to a 42. I think if they went with a 41, I think it would just be too big. I know it's only 1 millimeter difference, but I honestly think that they should stick with it being a 40 millimeter. Other than that, we'll see what Rolex does. Everyone's been, chiming in, with the predictions like every year, and then you get those fake renderings that people do. And some people are always like, yeah, I think these are real. These are definitely the real renderings or the real leaked photos. And they're always wrong. And so, but every year I'm pretty sure this is real. Who knows, right? But on that note, you guys, again, I really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Again, I'm asking, it's like been a slow month on my channel, but I do appreciate you guys. I really do. Thanks a lot.